gosh. Hi. Whew. Oh my gosh. I'll be so honest, I almost forgot how I do this. Hello. It is I, Flax Bailey, your ever animated scarecrow, and I am back, baby. I am so back. I hope everything sounds okay. I hope everything looks okay. I know it's been a while, so I'm a little out of practice. Apologies. But yeah, I'm back. I know I was gone for a really long time, so just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for waiting for me. I know I talk a lot about being back and such like that. Welcome back, streamer. Hi! Oh, great. Chat on screen ain't working. Great. Okay, well, I guess that's a sign I need to... Hold on. I guess... Oh, wait, no, I saw it for a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's back. Hi, welcome back, streamer. Hi, welcome in. I just got started, so it came at the right time. I was just saying thanks for waiting for me while I was away and stuff, so... Oh my gosh, there has been so much in the past month and so much in the past week alone. I don't have a lot of time to chat. I've got some stuff I need to do today, unfortunately. But in the meantime, I just want to say thanks for being patient. I had a lot of very important stuff to take care of in real life. One of the big reasons was that I officially moved. I officially moved a really long way from home this time. It was something that was like a long time coming, and it took a long time to get everything situated, but yeah, I fully moved, and I've been in my new place for about a little over a week now. No, just about a week. Oh my gosh. But either way, it's been a whirlwind these past couple of... Music's a bit loud. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Thank you. Let me boost my mic a little bit too. Trying to get everything situated. Congrats on moving. Thanks. Oh my god, it was the longest move of my life. I won't say from where I moved to where I move now, but let's just say it was a cross-country move, which is not an easy thing with a cat. That is not an easy move to make with a cat. Let me tell you right now. I think it took me, well, I can't say how long it took me, because that might dox location, etc. But it took several days. It took several days for moving from one side to another. And I'm still getting used to things. I'm still getting used to being in a whole different time zone too. That's another thing I have to get used to. A lot of things, hold on a second, I guess sneeze. Sorry about that. I've been having to get used to a lot of things. And unluckily Barn Cat's been... Barn Cat was a trooper that entire time. I think the first, day or two, he was really antsy and kept trying to, like, crawl up my car seat, and I had a whole setup going for him. It was one of those moves where I had to drive several hours a day, like closer to 8 or 9 each day in order to get where I needed to go. And let me tell you, some of those days were easier than others in terms of driving. And Barn Cat, he was a trooper. He was a trooper the entire time. This is gonna sound really silly and kind of gross a litto bit, but I had a litter box set up in the passenger seat where he sat, because I didn't want him to be in a carrier the entire time. I didn't want him to be in a carrier for like 8 or 9 hours at a time. So what I ended up doing was I had him on a harness, and I put him in the front seat, so the harness would keep him from moving around too much. But he still found a way to like nearly crawl up the seat and climb up it, and like would keep poor thing, he kept trying to look to the window. I didn't have the windows rolled down either, but he kept trying to look out the window, but he would always do so at a time when I was making a sudden start or stop, and he would end up like falling back onto the seat, and I felt so terrible that I couldn't brake gently enough for him, but he was just too excitable for some parts of it, and I was like, no, Barn Cat, I'm sorry, I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. But I had a litter box set up in the front seat. I also had a to-go thing for him. So whenever I got to place to stop for the night, I would take in the little litter box to go, and we would hang out there. Let me tell you this. I know there's hotels and motels with I know the really, really fancy ones have kitchens in the room. I don't get the point of it, because by the time I got to where I was staying for the night, I didn't want to cook anything. I just wanted to get food. I just wanted to obtain food. I didn't want to buy food to cook. I just wanted to obtain food. Hello, and Barn Cat. Hi, welcome in. Yeah, he was a real trooper this entire move, and honestly, I'm glad he's been adjusting to the new place as well as he has. Luckily, he's not super anxious in terms of new surroundings when some cats can be. He's more anxious when I'm away, which is more just him being a socially anxious cat in general. So, but luckily he's doing good. I will admit there was a little bit before the move started where I had to take him to the vet. I think I tweeted about this at one point where he was getting a little sick. His tummy was a little upset, and so I had to take him to a vet. And he had this back and forth where he would get really, really sick. He wasn't able to eat very much. Vet eventually said, hey, we can't really find anything, but try switching him over to this food, and I did, and thankfully the food's been helping him. And for the first time since I've ever owned this cat, I've been able to feed him on a normal bowl rather than a slow feeder, which is wild considering this cat usually eats so fast he erps everything up. Hold on, I just realized I'm a little tiny on screen. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. Oop, that's not, is this it? There we go. Haha, there I am. There we go. Anyway, so also, I apologize if I'm rambling at a mile a minute. There's been so much going on, and again, I don't have a lot of time. I would say I have about an hour, maybe an hour 30 at most. I have some folks coming by to fix some drawers in my kitchen now. But yeah, I got a new place. It's smaller than the old barn, I would say. It's a little smaller than the old barn, but I actually have some stuff growing on a balcony right now, which I'm excited because for once I actually have a balcony that gets light. I have a balcony that actually gets sunlight, which is amazing. And let me tell you, one of the biggest things I've enjoyed about this move so far is the fact that I have not had as much allergy issues as I did back where I used to live. Because there's still pollen around here. Don't get me wrong, there's still pollen. Everywhere you go, there's still pollen, right? This is the first time I've been able to keep a door open for a little bit of breeze. And one, the heat isn't trying to kill me. And two, the pollen isn't trying to kill me. Where I used to live, the pollen count was horrendous. It was absolutely abysmal, right? To the point where I would often go outside with a mask. I would go outside, and obviously also because, being a scarecrow and, some people don't like my mouth stitches. They think it's a little weird. And I will admit, sometimes I'm a little self-conscious of my mouth. So I would wear a mask, right? So one, for the self-conscious reason, and two, to try and mitigate the amount of pollen that was getting on my burlap and into my mouth and all that stuff. Because if you think allergies are bad for humans, imagine being made of cloth and having that pollen stick to you. That's rough. Humans have the benefit of being able to wash things off with soap. Washing me, made of burlap, it's a little bit more of an effort. So when I say I get hay fever, I need it. I got some really, really bad allergies at some point. So, but here at this new place, I'm breathing better. My fabric's breathing better. I'm able to keep doors and windows open to like let a breeze in, and I'm not dying. This is the best I felt in ages. And it's only been a week or two. Actually, it's only been a week. So like already off to a great start. I also had to take care of a lot of stuff right after I moved in. Like I pretty much hit the ground running with this move. Like after I got my last box in and I got my bed in and I got all this stuff situated, I had like a solid 2-3 days right after I first moved where I got a bunch of insurance stuff taken care of. I got a lot of internet stuff taken care of. Oh my god, fighting my internet box, fighting my router for the first day and a half was a nightmare. It was terrible. I think I followed the manual like 5 different times, and on the 6th time it worked. I don't know why this 6th time everything worked out perfectly, but the first 5 times nothing was working. It just kept blinking and blinking and blinking, and it wouldn't go to the color it needed to. Like it wouldn't go white. The little like indicator that it was on wouldn't work. 6 times a charm sometimes, I guess. But my god, I did not need that. It was one of those things of I needed to get my internet set up so I could get a start on everything else I needed to do. 6 times the second, 3rd time the charm, which is still the charm. Yeah, it goes in, it's an exponential thing. But I thought I was gonna lose my mind. I was trying everything I could. It was one of those things. And here's the other thing. It was one of those stupid like internet things where like it required like the setup thing that they gave me, because they gave me the router, they gave me the cables for the router, and then they gave me a little booklet that explained it, right? Well, the booklet only explained 3 steps: how to plug in the cables. How to plug in one cable, how to plug in another cable, and how to download the app, which is where everything else happens. Which I thought I was gonna lose my mind because 1, I hate that everything's an app. I get it saves paper, but my god, I'm tired of apps. I'm so sick and tired of apps. I want everything to stop being an app, okay? Not an app. I know, and it's not even the most useful app. Literally nothing about the app was useful in terms of like this could, if you know how the phrase is like, this could have been an email? Well, this could have been a booklet. This could have been a booklet for me to read, and it would have been less cumbersome than waiting for a hotspot to download this app, which by the way, I needed Wi-Fi in order to download the app, which I didn't have internet. So I had to go outside to public Wi-Fi to download this app, to fix my router, to set up my internet, which I needed it to be. I could go in circles about this whole, but you can see why it's a stupid idea to make your internet setup an app, right? I was so mad. But yeah, I've been slowly getting used to things. I still have a lot of stuff to unpack, and if it sounds a little echoey in here, I apologize. For once, I'm actually at a place where I can furnish a little bit more, and I'm actually gonna try to make an effort to furnish, because usually I live very minimalistically. I not because I necessarily want to, but because for a while, a little bit of Flax lore, I used to move around every couple of years, usually for like studying purposes or, just, change of pace, etc., etc. It wasn't like, the usual reasons folks tend to move around a lot, like military family or anything like that. No, it was just like, change of jobs, change of careers, change of education. I would move, every 2-3-ish years. But this is the first time I think I'm actually like settling down in a place which is huge for me, because it also means I now have to consider actually getting furniture. Actually getting good furniture, because it's supposed to last me, right? I'm not the best at decorating for that exact reason, because I'm not used to, having spaces to decorate. And so I'm struggling to figure out how to decorate. That's awesome being settled for a while. Yeah, it's really it's a really odd feeling. I'm not gonna lie. I don't, it's, how the feeling of like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Well, I don't know what to do with the space, because I mean, it's not like I'm, in an echo chamber where it's huge, but it's still like a good sizable place that's mine. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, but that's all to say that I've been really enjoying this move so far. I love the area that I'm in. It's wildly friendly. Like, I know there's the whole thing of like, oh, there's southern hospitality, and then there's northern hospitality, where it's what is the thing? It's like kind but not nice, and nice but not kind. And folks in the south are like, they're nice but not necessarily kind, in the sense that they'll be like, oh, bless your heart, oh you poor thing. They're like, they'll talk very nice, and oftentimes they can be very nice, but then you go to New York and it's like, fuck you, but they'll still help you like move your move your couch across the street or something like that, right? Over here, it's just nice. Like, I haven't met a single asshole yet. Granted, I've only been here a little time, but when I tell you everybody has been really warm and welcoming, I've never talked to my neighbors in a lot of the places that I moved. Like, at most, I would say, hello, or hey, can you turn down your music? I can hear it bleeding through my walls. This is the first time where, like, neighbors actually went out of their way to, one, talk to me, and two, like, be like, hey, listen, if you need anything, here's my number. I'm like, thanks? Thank you? Okay. It's wild. It's a wild feeling. It's a very wild feeling to actually be in a place that is very warm and welcoming like this. Amazing. Yeah. So I'm getting used to it. It's been a while. It's been a wild time. One other thing that happened is that well, I can't say too much about that. I can't say too much about, this thing, but let's just say that I also have taken up a part-time job in order to, support myself, support my little farm here. So I've taken up a part-time job, so very likely I'm not going to be streaming nearly as much as when I did before I moved. I'm still going to try to aim for at least once or twice a month, like once or twice. Hopefully I can do once a week. Realistically, I'm expecting like twice a month. And I apologize, I know that's not very consistent, but it's just what it is. Like I said when I first started this whole thing, it's like streaming is not my main focus. This is more just as a fun little hobby anyways, and I want to focus on, making myself, comfortable here, making a good living, etc. And everything else that comes after is, a bonus. So, well, that's nice. I lived in a place I'm at for over 5 years, and I don't know. So, yeah, that was a very common thing. I would live in a place for solid, like, I remember there was, like, 4 years. 4 years. Actually, no, wait. Yeah, 4 years, and then the 7 years at my old place, where I didn't talk to anybody. I barely knew my neighbors' names, and the only reason I knew them was because sometimes I would get their mail and I would have to go deliver it. And here's the awkward thing. They would know my name. I would forget theirs every single time because I do not talk to them. And it's not because I'm like not friendly or anything. I just literally don't. it was a combination of both not going out and being out too often at work and at school. So it was like, you know, the ships passing in the night thing. That's how it felt trying to talk to my neighbors about anything. But, you know, with how warm of a welcome I got from my neighbors this time around, I decided to actually do something nice, and I made them some banana bread. I made everybody. This might have been overkill, but I made everybody in my building a sliced banana bread. Like, I made one loaf of banana bread and then sliced it up a bunch. And I managed to give out, you know, a little slice to my neighbors. So that was, aw, cute, yeah. Well, I wanted to do something nice, especially with how kind and, you know, welcoming some neighbors have been. And it was really, really sweet because one of the neighbors actually on the same floor as me actually came by and was like, "Hey, we just wanted to say thank you for the banana bread. We're just down this way. Just wanted to say hi and thank you for the banana bread." I'm like, I didn't think anybody would actually come to my door to say thank you personally. I'm very used to just talking through notes, which I guess is also just, you know, I guess it's also just, you know, because I lived away from, like, you know, family and friends during COVID. I was kind of isolated during COVID, and so oftentimes neighbors, when I say I lived alone during COVID, I mean, like, everybody was kind of isolated, right? There was, like, I truly, the reason I got Barn Cat was because I was alone during COVID. I didn't have anybody nearby. I knew I didn't have anybody I could rely on, and so I was like, I'm going crazy without anybody nearby. I need a companion right now, or otherwise bad things are going to happen to my mental health. And so that's why I got Barn Cat. And so I say all that to say that my usual way of communicating with neighbors in the past was, you know, like notes on the door, or just, you know, occasionally if I ever ran into them in the hallway, very rarely, I would be like, "Hey, how's it going?" etc., etc. But very, very rarely. And they weren't long conversations. They were just mostly, "Hi, bye." I moved out recently and my neighbors left some cinnamon rolls for, aw. Ooh, I haven't made cinnamon rolls in a hot minute. Those are honestly kind of tricky to make sometimes, because, like, I know a recipe with, like, bread dough, and I know a recipe with, like, AP flour, and I can never figure out which one I like using more. I'll get something right back. There we go. I can never figure out which ones I like doing more often, just because, like, I don't eat a lot of cinnamon rolls. I don't eat a lot of sweets in general, despite how much I like making them. Mostly because, like, I've been trying to cut back on the amount of sweets I'm eating, because, you know, I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier, right? I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier. And also because sweet stuff lately has been, like, not that I have teeth, but if I did, this is what I imagine they would feel like if I ate a bunch of sweet stuff. Ow, 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 ow. Too sweet, too sweet, too sweet. Yeah. Lately, a lot of stuff has been just really, really sweet. So I appreciate sweets that are not, like, over the top, right? And which means a lot of stuff, like, has more of an earthy flavor, I guess, is the best way to put it. Like sweet potato, ube, matcha, taro. What's another one that's kind of, pumpkin. I do like a lot of pumpkin stuff. And I could go into a whole rant about how pumpkin spice, people have this misconception about what pumpkin spice is and all that. That's a rant for another day. I could go on so many rants about food, but I won't. And like I said, I don't have all time of the world to chat today. Is it like eating ice cream? Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Which I'm realizing I don't eat a lot of ice cream. I haven't eaten a lot of ice cream in a long time. Wait, when was the last time I ate ice cream? Has it been a year or two? No, I ate ice cream a few months ago. What am I talking about? I mean, this really does show you how not often I eat stuff like this. I had an ice cream an hour ago. Yeah, the dichotomy is real. Gelato. Ooh, gelatos are good. Those can get expensive at the store though, but man, do I really, really like, I really do like ice creams. Hello, hi, welcome in. We're just chatting about stuff. I was going over the fact that I moved recently and, you know, things I'm having to get used to. Oh, you know what's another thing I just realized about not my new setup, but just like being in this new area has made me realize is that my accent has been coming out a little bit more often. Not that I had an especially strong accent before, but during the several day car ride, congrats on the move, thank you. But during the several day car ride, where I was going through a bunch of states, I was noticing, one, I was talking to myself to kind of entertain myself. You know, I think it's fine to talk to yourself every now and then, just to, you know, talk out how you feel about things, talk about how, you know, it's practice talking. Everybody needs practice talking, I think. And I was noticing as I drove through certain states and as I was getting further and further from home, my accent was becoming more pronounced. Not on purpose. It wasn't something I was purposely trying to do. Is your new place as barren as... No, I actually have furniture. I actually have, like, I have a desk, I have a bookshelf, I have a little table for a printer. I actually go, oh, a new thing I have chairs. I have several chairs. Jonathan. That's a cute way to call it. But I actually have, for the first time ever, I'm actually going to be trying to get myself like an actual dining room set up. I say dining room, but it's more just like, you know, a place to eat that is not my desk, which is something I have a bad habit of doing. I have a few, like, I would say, not my last place, but my last place, I had a really, really, really bad habit of just eating at my desk instead of getting a table and a chair. So this time around, I'm actually making an effort to get a proper dining table. And, hold on, let's see, do I have this here? Do I have this set up? No, I don't. Hold on a second. Oh, I don't have it here. Dang it. Okay. Well, later on, I wanna do a little showcase of the fact that I actually I got some chairs for really, 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 really cheap at a thrift store around where I live. Let me tell you, the thrift stores where I used to live, they were not thrift stores. Okay, they were bougie upselling efforts rather than actual thrift stores. The ones around here are actual thrift stores, and I love it because it means I get deals like the one I got on my chair. I got 4 wood chairs, 4 fully wooden chairs for only like $5 each. $5 each on 4 chairs. Like, getting a full set of 4 chairs for that cheap, and the only thing I had to do was reupholster them, and that was easy. The nail gun cost more than the chairs. The nail gun I had to buy cost more than the chairs itself. What? Yeah, I know, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So where did you move? Wrong answers only. I moved to the moon. It's why it's so spacious. No, I won't answer where I moved specifically, but just know that I moved practically cross-country. Yeah. Facebook Marketplace is good for that stuff. That's where I got mine. For one, I don't have a Facebook, but 2, I've heard good and mixed things about Facebook Marketplace, and for me, it sounds cool, but at the same time, how do I put this nicely? People are weird on Facebook, in my experience, and I think I would rather, I'd rather keep stuff into the local economy, so going to local thrift stores or local chains of thrift stores. I feel better about doing that than trying to, you know, drive by some random person's house to pick up a thing that they owned and hopefully walking away from it, but does it feel weird to reupholster chairs when you're made of does it feel weird for somebody to wear a synthetic, or does it feel weird for somebody let me try to print this. I mean, does it feel weird to wear a wig made of human hair? If it doesn't feel weird to wear a wig made of human hair when you are a human, then I guess it doesn't feel that weird. Because besides, it's not, I mean, I don't know how to put this, but yeah, I'm made of burlap and canvas, but I'm not made of, but not all, I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know, not all cloth is the same, right? Like there's burlap, there's canvas, there's muslin, what are the other types of fabrics? Cotton, linens. So like, I mean, if there's different types of fabrics, then, you know, not all of them are the same. Get that chair model. I might take a picture of my chairs, like the before and after. I might have to blur some stuff out of them, just, you know, preserve some privacy there. But I'm actually pretty proud of how I did with reupholstering them. It looks pretty clean to me. Slap some googly eyes to give it a name or something. For that price, I would have expected termites in them. No termites so far. That's the good thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a table to go with them, which is kind of a bummer. But I also did get a little hutch, like I guess you would call it like a kitchen hutch. But I don't plan to put it in my kitchen. I plan to put it elsewhere, like on my balcony, so I can have more plants, which I am really excited because my previous place, I did not have the space to grow as much as I wanted to. And I know, yes, it was a farm, but you know, sometimes there's more land available. Sometimes there's more land available that isn't made for farming. And where I'm right now, I actually have the space to set up little pots and little planters. I actually do have an herb garden going. It's really, really cute. I think I have, let's see, what are the ones I have? I have some chives, I have parsley, I have rosemary, I have basil, I have mint. Hold on, let me count. Mint, rosemary, parsley, chives, basil. Oh, I'm forgetting. Oh, my model did not like that. I'm forgetting one, but I have a good setup right there. And I'm excited. I'm excited to use like fresh herbs in my cooking. All the smelly ones. Yeah. Listen, I love the smell of them. I like the smell of I know it's kind of fitting, but I really, really do like the smell of like, you know, the smell you get when you walk into like a garden center. Oh, give me one second. Hold on. Hi, sorry about that. That was the one thing I was like, oh no, I'm on a timer for. Luckily, it was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So I have a little bit more time to talk than I originally thought. Yay! Yay! I'm no longer on a hard timer. I had to get some work done on my kitchen, and some maintenance guys came by to fix some drawers and such. So we're all good. What was I talking about before? I was talking about my herbs. My herbs, yes. I'm excited to actually grow some more stuff outside. So, yay! I also got some flowers. I don't remember what the flowers are. I think it's like some marigolds and there's this bluish flower that I don't know what it is. I might take a picture of it and like ask you guys to help me ID it or something like that. A smell of wet garden. Yes. Okay. This is a kind of a weird thing, but if you guys have ever walked into a garden center, like at a Walmart or a Lowe's or Home Depot or one of those places, and you walk into the garden center, like that first space you walk into where it's like it smells like wet soil or wet, it just smells like clean wet is the best way to describe it. That is such a good smell to me. I love that smell, and I love the slight humidity in the air. Like even in like, I don't like a lot of humidity, but garden center humidity is a whole different ball field. And also that the air in those garden centers is like so clean. It is so good. I love it so much. Honestly, it makes me want to have plants indoors, but I don't trust Barn Cat not to chew them. Petrichor, yeah, that's the word. One of the flesh tubers I watched always had his wife's cello case in the background, so he put some googly eyes and a sticker on it. Oh my gosh, I'm just picturing that now, and that's kind of amazing. I love that. The smell of rain falling on dry earth. Yeah. I love that smell a lot. I really do. I will say that's the other thing I'm actually like looking forward to is filling up my balcony and filling up more space with plants, with furniture. I don't really like buying stuff, but I do like having stuff. So it's this constant struggle of the frugal side of me being like, I don't want to buy this, and the materialistic side of me being like, but what if we had the thing? What if we had object? Then object would bring happiness. And then the frugal side, but money give me happiness. Having stuff versus having space, exactly. Well, I'm not even having space. Having money. Having money is more the struggle. Oh, Yuri and Tomodachi is doing. Oh, nice. I still haven't. I play Tomodachi Life in my off time, and I have a private one of my own with IRL friends and such and characters. But I haven't. Wait. What box is that even in? Hold on. I just realized I don't know what box it is. Oh, give me 1 second again. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. I'm back. I was just saying that the maintenance person forgot their their toolbox here, so they had to run and go get it. What was I saying? Sorry, train of thought. It's all over the place. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think. There we go. But I wanted to say now's a good time as any to say that I did have an announcement. A good announcement, and that is I have a little surprise waiting for folks on YouTube. Whatever could it be? Let's see if I can get the link in here. Let's see if I can get the little link in here. I got a little surprise waiting for folks on YouTube. I got a little surprise. It'll premiere tomorrow. Oh no, the thing didn't work. Okay, well, hold on. I can do this. I can be the streamer. Boop. There we go. And let me pin that. You know, just a little something. 26 hours. Maybe. You guys will just have to see what it is. But just know it's been something I've been working on for a good bit. And it's something that like I fully did myself, other than 1 or 2 things. But it's something that I fully worked on myself. And it's, how do I put this? It is very fitting for my current life right now, and a lot more fitting since this week or this past couple of days. So I really hope folks like it. And yeah, I'm really excited for folks to see what it is. Yeah, I won't say what it is, but I think folks can kind of, for folks who know the VTuber sphere, know what a question mark waiting room is, you might be able to piece 2 and 2 together. A journey of 1,000 years? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. What is another thing? Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm trying to also fix this thumbnail, because that didn't, I don't know why the thumbnail didn't work on this thing. I actually had a proper, the thumbnail is not showing, is the thumbnail showing up as like 3, is 3 little like question marks, or nah, probably not. Anyway, but I guess folks will just have to see what it is. Okay, good. I have no idea what I'm doing. But speaking of YouTube stuff, I was thinking about this a lot during my move, and like how I would return back to streaming and doing stuff on Twitch. And I have been kind of going back and forth with myself about this, because I don't know if I want to actually try streaming on YouTube, because to me it's very clunky. To me, the whole setup is a little too clunky for me. I like how easy it is to start and stop streaming on Twitch. And YouTube is a little bit more, it's a little bit more annoying. That being said, I also don't know if dual streaming, I don't think, my internet's really good so far, no drops, no nothing, hopefully. But I don't want to start stress testing it right away and have my internet bill skyrocket. But I don't know if I fully want to start putting all of my VODs on my YouTube page every single time. However, there are ways to combine chat. Yeah, I know there's ways to do dual streaming that is like easier and stuff like that. But for me, it's more of like I don't know if. I don't know is the long and short of it. Pros, the VODs auto-record on YouTube. Yeah, that's true. And they save permanently rather than, deleting in Twitch. But that being said, I don't know if I want to keep always uploading my VODs to Twitch. I know there's like some folks here and there that, you know, sometimes like to watch my stuff after, you know, who can't make my streams. And not that I do that many of them, but, you know, every so often I came across a comment a while back that was like, hey, thanks, I really appreciate you having this VOD, you know, help me get me through the workday. I'm like, oh, that's really, really sweet. I didn't think I was that interesting enough to watch throughout the day. But that being said, I don't know if I want to continue going through all the effort to put my VODs on YouTube. So I think I might, I don't know, I might still think about this, but I think my vibes right now are that I might want to just saving VODs for like specific events. Like this one I will save because it's me, you know, coming back, giving folks updates on life and, you know, big announcement for something. But I think in the future I might just keep my, I might just like let my VODs live on Twitch for however long they live, and if they die, they die, because it also takes up a lot of energy to convert something into a VOD that's good for YouTube. Big things coming, yeah. So I think that might be the better approach, especially because, you know, I'm not some huge channel, so it's not like my videos are going to be bringing a lot of folks. But I do want to like, I do want to try to make an effort to like put forward, you know, more interesting videos, like covers or speed paints, etc. And I want those videos not to get like drowned out by all my VODs, right? And I might experiment with trying to stream on YouTube again, maybe, if I can figure out a way to make it less clunky. But for the time being, I think it might be just easier to just save specific VODs and not try to, you know, break my neck over posting every single one of them. So I apologize if that means, you know, my streams are kind of like, you know, blink and you'll miss it, but it's going to be a lot easier for me to manage in the long run, which is something I'm really trying to like hone in on, especially because my life is going to be a lot more busy in the next couple of weeks or so. So I want to make this hobby manageable. I don't want to make it a career, because if I make it a career, then it's gonna make me a lot more stressed, you know? I don't wanna take the fun out of this by making it a career. If anything, are your oomph on Twitch? Rating is also technically a thing on YouTube, but people don't really. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that like rating on YouTube I think is a little trickier if you're a very small channel, which is, I don't know how to feel about that. I think the beauty of rating is the fact that, like, you know, folks can go anywhere to raid. So it can be like, oh, you're going over to my friend, or hey, this person, they just started out, let's go give them some love. You know, I really like that aspect of raiding. So it's one of the things I like about Twitch. I like the fact that, like, you can big channels or small channels can raid one another, and it's not a big issue. Whatever ZZ's, yeah, I do appreciate folks who, like, you know, are like, oh, thank you for uploading this, but I think in the future it might just be more keeping myself sane. I had that happen when I went to school for music. It became work and really stressful. Yeah. That's another thing, is that, like, for a while I did try to for a while I was writing. I did a lot of writing, and I did a lot of like studying English, etc. I did try to make a career of writing and editing because I was good at it and I liked it. I liked it a lot. But very quickly after finding a role that would let me write creatively, one, it ended up not going anywhere. It was contract work, so, you know, contract stuff is always annoying. But it was also something that made me realize, oh, I don't like being told how to be creative. You know, I like being creative. I don't like being told how to be creative necessarily. Like, oh, you can, you know, make up a scenario. No, not that scenario. No, not that scenario. How about we get one of our executives to make a scenario and you write based off of that? And you're like, okay. Your scenario sucks, And it's really cliche, but I guess I'll write for it. Being creative with certain boundaries. Yeah, exactly. So I think that was something that like I realized very quickly. I was not about that. So I'm glad. I'm happy to be dipping my toes, or my stumps. I guess I don't have toes. Why did I say toes? I'm glad to be dipping my boots into this whole field of like content creation. But I don't want to bust my ass over something. I don't want to bust my ass over it 24/7, because that I feel like is how you lose the fun. It's how you lose the whimsy of things. And I think, especially in hobbies that are creative by nature, you have to really balance the fun part, the part of like creating, versus the part of you that needs rest, the part of you that needs a moment to just not think. It's how you avoid burnout, because even if you like something a lot, even if you have a really strong passion about something, it's really important to just give yourself a chance to not do something, not do as much as you may like art, or you may like singing, or you may like dancing. You have to give yourself that break, right? You have to, otherwise you're gonna use up all your creative fuel in one go. And I know some people are like, oh, that's never gonna happen. It will happen. It absolutely will happen. I can assure you, it can, will, and has happened to several hundreds of thousands of people, and it will continue to happen if people go too hard, too fast on a hobby. Burned out hard. Exactly. College killed Eddie, and I'll join writing. Yeah, I kind of feel that. I do have some funny stories about when I was studying writing, and let me tell you, I think the people that I found were the quote-unquote worst at writing were this sounds so mean to say, but it was the people who were always talking about like, oh, the humanities, they're not for anything. The humanities studies, like, I don't need to learn how to read, I don't need to learn how to write. Those were the people that wrote the worst. They wrote the worst, and they were always the people in STEM. They were always the people in STEM. The STEM people. I remember there was a stint where I was helping out at a college's library, or part of the so the school had a program within their library where students would come by and get help with their papers, in the sense of like get writing help, and not necessarily like have their paper written for them, but it was like an official position, paid position where wait, no, it wasn't paid. What am I saying? It was an official position where students would help other students structure their writing in a better way. And so I worked on that for a while, and there were some people that like they would come by like, hey, my professor told me to come to this place, and I have to do it for a grade. Here's my paper. Fuck you. I don't want to be here. And my God, those people were the worst to work with. They were the most like unmotivated. They were the most unmotivated to be writing about something that they should be motivated about. Like, I don't know if I'm just weird about this, but if I'm given the chance to talk about a subject I'm really passionate about, I can yap for ages, right? I can go on and on and on and on and on, right? These people were like actually studying their favorite their subjects. Like, there was people who were like, hey, I'm studying this specific field, I'm studying this specific psychological event, I'm studying this specific mechanical thing. There was a lot of people who came by for like, first of all, I didn't know this was a thing, but some mechanical classes, like how to build an engine 101 would have essays, and I didn't know that they had those. But these people would be writing these really technical essays, and I'm just like, if you can't write an essay in a way that somebody outside your field can understand, I have to wonder how passionate you are about this field you're actively pursuing. I like to do practicals, not write stuff. Yeah, it was frustrating. Engineering, yeah. Engineering, that's the word. That's what. Those people are probably all over. Ugh, don't even remind me. Don't even make me. Ugh. Gah. Wah. Ah. Sorry, every time I think about AI, I die a little inside. Just truth of the matter is, I truly can't stand it in any shape or form. So, but yeah, that's the long and short of like my stint as like basically an editor for folks. How did I even get talking about that? Talking about just creative stuff and burnout. Yeah. So I think for now, like keeping this as a fun hobby for myself is my way of de-stressing from real life stuff and also giving myself an outlet for more creative stuff. And yeah. Sorry, I realize I'm rambling all over the place about a bunch of different things right now. My mind's going a mile a minute. It's both going a mile a minute and then it hits this hard wall of like, oh god, I've done so much in the past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Ugh, I don't know anymore. Time is soup. Time is soup. I don't know what time is anymore. We're here for the just chatting. You're doing great. Thanks. Oh boy. I do feel like I might have to, it's about 1 hour and I didn't want to make this a very, very long stream. So I might start wrapping up, in a little bit, cause I also have to get some food. It is getting a little late for me to get some food. So, and I got some other stuff I need to take care of. But yeah, if folks, are interested in my little surprise waiting for tomorrow, feel free to share it around. I really hope what's for lunch or dinner. I don't know. I don't know yet. I got what do I have in my fridge? I have some chicken. I have some. I don't have pasta. I need to add that to my list. I want to stop going to the store already. I want to stop going to the store. It'll be whatever's in my fridge. But yeah, if folks wanna, it would really mean a lot if folks, shared around that little link and, I guess hyped it up a little bit. It's a fun surprise. I will spoil the fact that it is a little music thing. It's a little music thing. I worked really hard on it. So if folks, if you want, no pressure. I always love a good huh. So yeah, it's been in the works for a bit, and it's something I started before I moved, and I might talk a little bit more about it after it releases. Gasp! Being a music thing? I know. Shocker! Spoiler! I've ruined the surprise. But I might talk a little bit more about it. Either in a stream or just doing a quick little blurb on Twitters or Blue Sky or whatever about the process after it releases. But yeah, it's something I worked on before I moved, and I finished up like right after tomorrow. Yeah, so not that long to wait. Just I live 20 what is it now, 25 hours, just a short 25 hours. Yeah, just a short little 25 hours. You guys can wait. I know you're patient little things. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much for being so patient with me as I deal with moving and I deal with life stuff. I'm gonna really try my best to get back to streaming kind of regularly. I don't know how regularly it's gonna be. I'm gonna be very transparent in that. My schedule is still kind of up in the air, but I promise you guys, at the very least, I'm gonna try to give you guys at least a 48-hour heads up if I plan to stream. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try my best. I was late because time is soup. Yeah, that's gonna work great on your boss, I'm sure. That excuse is gonna work great on your boss. But anyway, I think I am gonna start winding down here. So let me switch to my little winding down screen and there we go. Ah, oh my gosh. Yay. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, I apologize this was such a kind of shorter stream, but I didn't want to push myself right out of the gate. Let's see. Who is streaming that I could raid to? That I know. I don't see anybody I know. And I will say hi to Barncat, of course. I will. Barncat knows. Barncat knows he's loved. I don't see anybody I know that's streaming, and I'm still a little too scared to raid folks I don't necessarily know personally, so I'm just gonna say, that's all for me to now, and, you know, scatter to the four winds! Be gone with you! Be gone! Be gone! Bye-bye! Thanks for stopping by! Bye-bye!